Guys, I know this is going to be a pretty late review, but there's so much going on in WWE right now, especially with the WWE Network. And I do have a video in the works, and I'm going to probably do I'm going to make it the pros and cons of the WWE Network. And pretty much my overall thoughts of it, as well as good and the bad, and whether or not I'm going to get it. And honestly, I'm going to freaking get it. Enough said. But anyway, that's a whole new video in the works. This video is not about TNA and SmackDown because my DVD-R did not record TNA, but it did record SmackDown. And there's so much going on in the WWE right now, and there's a lot to talk about. The Royal Rumble is right around the corner. 5 weeks from today until the launch of the WWE Network. There's so many things that have happened in WWE so far, and a sad thing that happened. We ended up losing Mae Young, and when she was 90 years young, and that woman had such an awesome legacy. And there's so many unforgettable moments that that woman has gave to us, from the Attitude Era and probably before that, even when Moolah was alive. And honestly, my most favorite moment coming from Mae Young will always and forever will be the hand. When she gave birth to a hand after getting with Mark Henry, getting together with Mark Henry, and end up becoming pregnant with a hand. I'm sorry. The hand scene will always be classic for me, and also for Raw 1000 when the hand grew up. I'm sorry. That's gonna forever be an awesome moment in Mae Young's legacy. That woman, she is gonna always be missed. God bless that woman. I miss her to pieces. It's a shame that she's passed, but I know that she lived her life to the fullest. That woman loved what she did. She wasn't ashamed about what she did. She had a good time, and she loved every bit of it. And that's the wonderful thing that we can remember about her, how much life she had, and how much get up and go she had before she passed. So God rest her soul, and we have so many memories of her that I don't think we will ever forget. And she will be missed, but she will not be forgotten. But let's move on to SmackDown. Honestly, I was really quite entertained with the SmackDown. I'm not gonna lie. I went in thinking it was gonna be meh, but I was really quite entertained. And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you. Dummies. I actually thought that was pretty funny. This is also make me think, how come they don't have 3 commentators for SmackDown? You got 3 commentators for Raw, and it's just as mediocre, as bland as it can possibly be, with the King going in and out of illnesses. And I hope the King is better and recuperating from whatever he had before. And I think he was on Raw this past week. But either or, it is a lot more entertaining when you have a guest, when you actually have a guest commentator on there. It's a lot more entertaining. There was something about The Miz and JBL's chemistry that was unforgettable for me. Like, they just balanced each other out. They were both heels, but it just worked. Like, they went from back and forth from being face to heel, kind of like in between, but somehow it didn't irritate me as much. It kind of worked. They had really great chemistry, and they were a lot better. And those two were a lot better than Cole and Lawler. Like, seriously. I would love for The Miz to be there a lot more often, but I doubt that he will be. But seriously, I really want him to stay on the SmackDown team and actually be the 3rd guy. I hope he stays the 3rd guy. But let's move on from there. There was a lot of things that were heating up. I know with CM Punk, they're trying to start something going on. With CM Punk versus The Shield and him against the New Age Outlaws, it seems to me that they're going to probably start him off with a feud. Him and versus Triple H, probably at WrestleMania, and they're gearing up for that. I don't know what's going to be happening with Kane. I actually saw the ending, and Kane kind of went from Corporate Kane to Monster Kane, even though he will always be Corporate Kane to me. And on the real, he can't go back to Kane after this. He just can't. He kind of assassinated his character by literally going from someone that's completely out of control and completely unpredictable and downright masochistic, well, more like sadistic. I guess maybe both sadistic and masochistic, either or. He went from being a really completely off the wall crazy character to being a controlled corporate guy. He can't go back to doing that in my eyes. He needs to stay being corporate heel and just stick with that and stop trying to go back and forth, because it's not going to work. Hence the whole Daniel Bryan and the Wyatt family issue. And everyone knows how I personally feel about the whole storyline between Daniel Bryan and the Wyatt family. Something that was completely unnecessary, since Daniel Bryan was way over to begin with. And how they actually put it together to make him a heel temporarily was all wrong in my book. I still feel like they should have done the brainwashing thing, because you can't break someone who has too much pride. That's why in my eyes it didn't work. And not only that, he didn't really need to be put with the Wyatt family, because the Wyatt family were way over in what they were doing. Bray Wyatt demanded attention every time he got in the ring. He didn't necessarily even need to have anybody like Daniel Bryan in that group. For crying out loud, he actually silenced the crowd every time he spoke. That's respect. I can't really say the same thing for SmackDown. I mean, even though you had a few people talking back and forth and he kind of sort of was respected, it wasn't the same as all those months when the Wyatt family came out. It kind of got watered down when Daniel Bryan was added into the mix. And now that Daniel Bryan is gone and they're going to start this feud with him and the Wyatts, let's face it, Bray is not going to win this match. He's not going to win this fight with Daniel Bryan. He's going to lose. And that's the worst mistake they could ever make. They should have just left it alone, let the Wyatt family somewhat tease and torment him, and just give him mind games, and then just have it build up from there. But now I don't know what's going to happen from here. And more than likely, the Wyatt family is probably going to be in the Royal Rumble. And by the way, it's looking Daniel Bryan's going to be in the Royal Rumble. But let's face it, Batista is going to make his return this Monday coming up. I'm actually doing this right now on Saturday. But this Monday, Monday Night Raw, coming up, we all know that Batista's going to make his huge return. And do you honestly believe that they're going to bring him back just for him to lose? No! Dude's winning the Rumble, and he's going to go against Randy Orton. It's going to be the Apex Predator. Well, actually, it's going to be the Predator versus the Prey. He calls himself Apex Predator now, but when he comes back, when Batista makes his return, he's going to be the freaking Prey. And that's something I'm actually going to look forward to. That will be an awesome feud, seeing how those two are going to go at it. We all know that Randy Orton brings the pain depending on the opponent that he has. We all know that Batista is a very strong guy, not to mention the fact that they were all in Evolution together. I really do feel that it's going to be a really great feud to actually watch, and I'm kind of looking forward to it. But I don't know. We'll see how this whole thing builds up from there. Hopefully it won't crash and burn, since Batista's been out for so long. We all know he sucks on the mic. But hopefully he kind of improved on his skills, and we all know that the dude is stacked. Like, I really don't think that Randy Orton has a shot in the dark to literally beat Batista. Like, cleanly, no. He's going to probably cheat. But either or, it's going to be a really great match to watch, and I'm really looking forward to it. But we all know, this is how I'm personally seeing about the whole Alberto Del Rio thing. Nobody really cares about Alberto Del Rio. I don't care about Alberto Del Rio. I want him to kind of disappear for a while. But we all know that Rey Mysterio is going to retire. This is something that's imminent. We all know he's going to retire. So, but the whole thing with Alberto Del Rio and Batista is going to come to an end at the Rumble. Because when Batista wins and Del Rio loses, who is he going to take out all this crap on? Or actually, I take that back. Who is going to cause him to lose? Rey Mysterio. Hence another feud leading towards WrestleMania, or probably towards another pay-per-view. Either or, I think they need to beef it up towards WrestleMania, because let's face it, nobody cares about Rey. Nobody cares about Rey anymore, and nobody cares about Del Rio. So they have to do something to beef up towards WrestleMania because we all know that Rey is going to retire. So instead of it being Sin Cara and passing the torch to Sin Cara, more than likely it's just going to be a peace out moment while he defeats Del Rio in the most epic way possible. That's pretty much how I see it. But honestly, guys, the biggest hype around the entire WWE right now is the WWE Network. There is so much buzz in the social media as well as on the news about this network. And I'm crunk about it. The fact that it's $9.99 a month, and then the fact that you get all pay-per-views, all of them, all 12 for the entire year, is sweet. But you have, well, anyway, that's a whole video in itself. I don't really want to go into it too much. But either or, there's a huge amount of buzz about the WWE Network. And I am really looking forward to this happening. And I really have a really positive feeling on how this is going to turn out. But anyway, my overall thoughts of SmackDown is this. It was quite entertaining, and they actually are doing something about the Rumble. They're literally beefing it up, and it's making me really interested to actually see the entire pay-per-view and not really be so bored with it. There's a lot of feuds that are going on right now that actually do kind of pique my interest. But as for the ending of the whole thing, it was okay. It wasn't bad. And as for the Divas, I'm kind of wondering why they had little snippets of the Divas throughout the entire show. But the coolest thing about the Divas match was Emma! Yay, Emma! Imitating. Hashtag imitating. I love Emma. And the fact that they keep having these little Emma sightings every time you see a Divas match, I think for those that actually are fans of Emma, it gives you a chance to actually watch her or look for her. Like, well, she's like, where's Waldo? Except she's a chick. It's a only different thing. But honestly, I love Emma. The Divas match wasn't too bad, but let's face it, Tamina does not need to be with AJ Lee anymore, and AJ Lee is starting to lose her fire. She really needs to come up with something else new. But I really do see that Naomi is going to be the next Divas champ one day. I'm really thinking she's primed for that. But my overall thoughts is this of SmackDown. It was a very entertaining show, and it's leading up to the Royal Rumble like it's supposed to. Not only that, there's so much hype that's going around with the WWE Network, and also other things that's kind of getting you beefed up. And also Batista's return is coming up on Raw. There's a lot of things that's going on, and it's actually bringing in some kind of hype to the WWE again. And even though we have lost Mae Young, she will never be forgotten. And I personally will never forget the joy that I had seeing every match that she was in, let alone all the segments that she was in with other superstars. But guys, I want to hear your personal thoughts of SmackDown as well as your favorite moments about Mae Young. Leave it in the comment section below or send me a video response. I will see you guys on Monday for Monday Night Raw, as well as me putting up my Q&A. And I'm going to do my best to try to get that top 10 list out before January's over. But anyway, guys, peace out. See you later.